I was debating whether or not I wanted to do another RPG, with Final Fantasy IX still in the works, with it having been a little while since the last video I uploaded on that, and I'll get back to it at some point, but I just wanted to play some Final Fantasy V. So we're gonna play some Final Fantasy V. And we're gonna watch this Mode 7 effect in action, even though it's not really Mode 7 anymore, because this is the Pixel remaster. Well, let's start up a new game and get going. Final Fantasy V released in 1992 for the Super Famicom and didn't make it to the West until the PlayStation re-release. And a lot of people in the US felt that it was pretty weak as far as a Final Fantasy game was, especially compared to 4 and 6, which featured a lot more focus on narrative. This, admittedly, is not one of the more story-based Final Fantasy games. This is a gameplay one, though. And while I think a lot of people think its story is a little bit, it's a bit too silly, it's a bit too lighthearted compared to 4 and 6. On the other hand, the gameplay for this is probably the best of the three on the Super Nintendo. Because this game did a lot of refinements to some systems from 1 and 3, and this game also has its quirks and weirdness as well, but honestly, this game's gameplay is really solid. If you're wondering why I'm skipping through the dialogue so quickly, it's because I'm not, actually. I haven't pressed A since starting up a new game. We got this opening cutscene here with King Alexander, Highwind Tycoon, and his daughter Lena. It seems that a problem is occurring with the wind crystal at the Wind Shrine, so naturally, the King of Tycoon goes to investigate. Honestly, good on him for being a royal that actually tries to do something. And of course, he gets to ride on a badass Windrake too. Meanwhile, while he goes to investigate, a pirate ship. Everyone's wearing eye patches, except for this one androgynous person whose hair stops flowing because the wind just stopped. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan Kenobi from the prequel trilogy is in a cave. And with the wind stopping, it seems that something might have happened to the king. What in blazes? The crystal starts to lose its luster. And eventually... Hang on, it's gotta do its musical cue. Shatters. I love how it does that dramatic music sting, then pauses, then they do it again, then it pauses again, and then they do it a third time. It's like, okay, are you sure you got the musical sting? We're gonna play it again. We gotta let you know this is a serious situation. Speaking of serious situations, though, looks like our lovely campfire is being interrupted by a rock from outer space. And as it shows off that smooth sprite scaling and rotation, only possible on the Super NES, which is why we're playing it on the Switch. It's time for us to investigate. Put out the fire like a responsible chocobo, and let's get going. Alright, here is the gameplay of Final Fantasy V. we're just a bird. We can't actually do much. I mean, we can check the map with the Y button. And with ZR, we can actually increase the size of the map. I'm gonna keep it small for now. ZL does nothing. Clicking in on the right stick lets you turn encounters on and off, but we're a bird. We don't need encounters anyway. Alright, let's actually go to the meteorite. The Tycoon Meteorite. Boko, wait here, okay? And Boko waits there because he's a good boy. Time to actually get introduced to the meat and potatoes of the gameplay. Beating up some goblins. Who, in their fight, I guess they kinda look like they're overworld sprites. They're wearing hats here, and they're not wearing hats in the overworld, but whatever. Pretty simple little tutorial battle. I mean, it would take a lot for you to lose it, considering you can just mash A, and there's the strategy. But after that, who are you? Hey, are you alright? Yes, I believe so. I give you my thanks. My name is Lena. And you are? Me? Alright. Here's something that I've been debating for the ages. Whether or not to keep his canonical romanization, or go with something else. This character is Bart's Clouser. But in a lot of early romanizations, his name was sometimes spelled as Butts. Now, I can't deny the appeal of Butts. I can't. But I'm going to keep him as Bart's. I know this is probably disappointing considering, like, oh, you named your characters in the NES Final Fantasy III playthrough after the Ninja Turtles, blah blah blah. I'm keeping things canon here. Call me Bart's. Me and my chocobo just go wherever the trail leads us. Bart's. Just like Bart's. This rock suddenly fell from the sky. The impact must have knocked me out. Guess it's a meteorite. A meteorite. I wonder if it has a connection to the wind stopping. Again, I give you my thanks. I wish I could do something more to show my appreciation, but I really must go. Oh, hey, hold up a sec. Bart's, did you hear something? Huh? I think it was actually a water bottle in my trash can. Popping for some reason. Oh well. It's nothing. Except... oh... ugh, help me. If I keep doing that voice, I will kill my throat. Cause I don't got a manly man set of vocal cords. I've got a tiny baby set of vocal cords. Are you alright? Where am I? Oh, my aching head. Sakes alive, what's happened? I don't remember. Eh? I can't remember anything! Looks like you hit your head pretty bad. Maybe you got amnesia. Oh! Something came back to me. My name is Galuf. That's a start. Anything else? Nope, just the name. Other than that, my memory's completely blank. I'm very sorry, but you must excuse me. I have no time to waste. Where are you going? I must go to the Wind Shrine. The Wind Shrine! And now that you mention it, I'm pretty sure that's where I was headed. It's decided. I'm going with you. But... I've gotta get to that shrine. I feel it in my bones. You gotta take me with you. Bart's, what about you? Sorry, I'm gonna bow out on this one. Good luck, though. Bart's, Thank you again. Farewell. Godspeed and all that whatnot. Yep, well, while they go to the Wind Shrine, I'm going back to my chocobo. I'm going back home, back to my campfire. Maybe I'll check my phone, watch some... I don't know, what would Bart's watch on his phone? What do you think he would? Or maybe he'd go back to his hometown and watch some TV. Yeah, I'm not going to go on an adventure today, I'm just going to sit around and watch rebounds of, like, NCIS or something like that. And there we go. Adventure's done, they're gonna handle it. Story's over. I know Final Fantasy V's a little bit of a short game, but I'm glad you guys could be here for this Let's Play. No, okay, let's actually progress. As it turns out, inside the canyon... Well, we have a case for seatbelts at least. Bad chocobo. What are you doing stopping like that? Now, don't you give me that look. Yeah, I know. The girl and the old man went off together. But with all the goblins around these parts... Fine, I got it. And it turns out, something may have gotten them. Boko, come on! Now we have action, and more goblins! Maybe the goblins just decide, okay, now we're in a fight, I'm gonna put on my combat hat. That'll show them. Get our first level up after this. Look at that big ol' HP increase. These goblins already weren't shit to begin with. But now that I've got 46 HP, oh, what are they gonna do now? I'm probably very slightly stronger, too. You're gonna try to damage me 4 damage at a time? I've got a sword, I can deal 30 damage. And there's our friends. Oh. Good morning. Bart's. Seems I can't escape being in your debt. Hey, don't worry about it. Seems like the meteorite's impact caused a few landslides. The road's covered in rubble. I don't think you're gonna be able to make it to Toul this way. But I heard Toul's a pretty sweet band, Tim. But if I can't get to the Wind Shrine, then... Ugh. Wind Shrine... Gotta hurry. The old guy's pretty dead set on getting there, too. Alright. I'll go with you and personally see to it that you get there safely. Oh, really? Yeah. You know, my dad always wanted me to go out and travel the world. But it also feels like the wind is calling me. What a sweet talker. As if you don't just have the hots for the little lady. You're awake? Don't sound so surprised. This old dog is always ready for anything. I say, flexing. Ha ha ha! Still, if the road's blocked, that makes things a sight more difficult. I won't give up. There must be a way to reach the Wind Shrine. Right, and we'll find it. Alright, let's ride. The 3 amigos here. And Boko. He's a good boy. So, where are we gonna go? The road over there is blocked with a meteorite, so I guess the only way is to go north. And if we go north, there's a cave here. Now, I didn't demonstrate it, but you wouldn't have seen this cave earlier. remember there being a cave here. Probably opened up during one of the quakes. Boko, I think this is going to be a little too dangerous for chocobos. You stay here, okay? That was a little nod. Alright, time for our first dungeon, and also our first introduction to the spring. Even before we have any random encounters, and I just gotta make sure we have them on, we get a healing spring. Recovery springs like these are in a few dungeons. HP and MP restored, all status ailments removed, and KO allies get revived. Always a good idea to look out for healing springs or healing pots whenever you can. And now it's time for combat with actual decisions. Sort of. Bartz and Lena start with equipment. Galuf doesn't. Now, this isn't normally too much of a problem with enemies that don't have defense. And the first couple enemies in the game, like the goblins and these steel bats, don't have a defense stat. You know what does, though? Those crabs. Galuf actually can't hurt those crabs yet. Unless I give him a knife, but then Lena can't, or then Bartz can't. So we're gonna need to find some equipment soon. Thankfully, even with that, the enemies aren't too easy. Or aren't too hard, rather. They're easy. But not too easy. They're just the right amount of easy. One thing you might have noticed when we attacked that steel bat in the back with Galuf that first battle, you might have noticed it took less damage initially, and then the next, it took 6 damage per hit instead of 3. This is, as far as I'm aware, the only Final Fantasy game that has a row system for monsters. I may be getting that wrong, but it's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. So if you're a melee fighter, you've got to attack their front row first. I'll explain a little bit more about that as we get to it. But for now, those pirates we saw earlier. So that's how you get in. You... Chest contained a leather cap. Oop. More enemies. We've got a back attack here. Back attacks work the same as they do in other Final Fantasy games. If you're attacked from behind, all of your party members that are in the front row are now treated as the back row and vice versa. Thankfully, you can switch your characters around with the row command. And since this is one of the games that doesn't have like 5 party members unlike Final Fantasy IV, you can switch the characters' rows individually rather than just switching all the formation. It's weird that Final Fantasy IV did that, but they were experimenting around a bit. Alright, we got everyone equipped with that leather cap we found. So we also got a leather cap from one of the goblin battles as well, which I think is actually a random chance. It's not like a guaranteed drop. So we've got a leather cap for both of us this time. I'm gonna give one to Galuf, and I'm gonna give one to Lena. Now with the stats, you might notice defense goes up, magic defense goes up, weight also goes up as well. In this game, there is actually a weight system. Your characters can't become over-encumbered, mind, but depending on how heavy you are, that actually affects the ATB gauge filling. So the heavier you are, the slower the gauge is gonna fill. It's not gonna be too much right now, but you will want to keep that in mind. Characters that obviously use heavier equipment are going to move a bit slower. Unless you have something like haste. That ship just now, how is it sailing with the wind so weak? All these good questions and more. We fight more tentacle monsters. Stropers were like, in Final Fantasy V, or 3, they were like mid-game enemies, and here they're just, oh, we're here in the first dungeon. Don't mind us. You know what? I won't mind them. Yeah, I'll just punch them. Into the pirate's hideout. This is a pirate hideout. Meaning that ship we saw must have been a pirate ship. Wonder if they might give us a ride. I think the only ride they'd be interested in would be a keel haul for all three of us. Yeah, you can't ask a favor from a pirate. That's why we'll just sneak on and steal their ship. Whoa! You're pretty gutsy for an old-timer. Alright, there's not much we can do here at the Pirate Cove. We can talk to these NPCs, but we can't get through those doors yet. We'll be able to come back here later, though, so don't worry your pretty little head off. Let's go on the dock, grab the pirate ship, and get ready to moist the main snails. Yo ho ho! And stuff. Time to cast off. Well, cast off means start sailing, kid. I know that. The wheel won't even budge. How do you work this thing? You try working anything and there'll be the devil to pay. Here's the pretty guy we saw earlier. Trying to steal my ship, are you? You have a lot of brass. Or mayhap you're just lacking in brains. I'd wager it's the latter. Wait, I am Princess Lena of Tycoon. Please accept my apologies for attempting to commandeer your ship. She's a princess, said the girl's royalty. Sir, this is a formal request from the Kingdom of Tycoon. Please, allow us the use of your vessel. I must get to the Wind Shrine. My father is in danger. Oh ho ho, the Princess of Tycoon, here on my ship? I'm sure we could fetch a tasty sum for this one. Hey, leave her alone, you degenerate, lecherous, piratey pirate! I beg of you, please. That pendant. Toss the lot of them into the brig. Aye aye, Captain. Well, this is a fine how do you do. What genius came up with the idea to steal a pirate ship anyway? Look in the mirror, Pops. Oh, my aching head. I can't remember a thing. And your amnesia oh so conveniently returns. Still, can't believe you're really the Princess of Tycoon, Lena. I'm sorry. I didn't intend to keep it a secret. It's not that big a deal. But if you're the princess, why were you going to the Wind Shrine all alone? My father is there. He hadn't been gone long when the wind dropped to almost nothing. I just can't shake the feeling that something terrible is happening. I slipped out of the castle and headed for the shrine, but then that meteorite fell and... you know the rest. And meanwhile, on the other side of the boat, our pirate captain is deep in thought. Why does the Princess of Tycoon have the same pendant as I do? She said her father's at the Wind Shrine. Prepare to cast off, lads. Set a course for the Wind Shrine. But Captain, what about the landlubbers? Untie 'em. Sometime today would be nice. But why? I reconsider your request. You can go back to the brig if you'd prefer. Pull anchor. We sail for the Wind Shrine. Hey, something wrong with your ears today? I hope I don't have to repeat myself. Well? Aye, Captain. Ain't it convenient that we all got the eye patch on the same eye? It's really weird though, sometimes when I'm facing one direction, it feels like it switches to my other eye. You get that feeling too, Dave? Yeah, I guess. But the wind has stopped. How can the ship move? Full of curiosity, aren't you, lass? Sildra! Come up and say hello. And we get introduced to the cutest little sea monster. Say hello to Sildra. Beautiful, isn't she? Sildra and I were raised together. We're close as siblings. Alright, we're off. And with that, we now have our pirate ship. Now you can automatically go to the Wind Shrine from here. But I'm not gonna do that, because we've still got a bunch of stuff to cover in this first episode. Well, a little bit of stuff. So instead of going to the Wind Shrine, which would be up to the north, let's instead go over here to the town of Tool. Grog! Grog! We love grog. We love drinking. We are the pirates that love to drink. Think I'll stop in and have a drink as well. If you go here to Tool when you got the pirate ship, all the pirates, they want their grog. But now, it's time to talk about the town of Tool a little bit. First off, let's go in here to the Greenhorns Club. Would I be right to assume you're new to this adventuring thing? Yes. The Greenhorns Club has a few helpful items for us and also quite a few tutorials. Keep an eye out for secret passages. Try walking through the wall to my left and you'll catch my drift. Thieves can learn the ability Find Passages, then they can see secret passes with no trouble at all. So introducing us to a tried and true staple of secret passages. And hey, there's a bunch of items here for us. May as well grab some. Urns and chests like these sometimes have goodies inside. Why don't you try having a look-see? So a bunch of items in those. And there's a couple of these guys who are going to tell us about like different status ailments or different things like the row system. We can also talk to this fella. Inside this chest is a present from me. And inside is monsters. He stuffed a goblin in a chest. Thankfully, however, we do get a present. Because inside the chest is leather shoes. Sometimes monsters hide in treasure chests. Try to be more careful from now on. So we got a bunch of items out of that deal, including leather shoes, our first accessory. It will give us an extra little bit of defense, extra little bit of magic defense, and an extra little bit of weight. Since we didn't give Bart's a hat, let's get him some shoes. There's some other places to go to as well, so how about we show off the magic shop? Inside the magic shop are spells. Like in Final Fantasy III, you can buy spells from shops instead of having specific party members learn them from leveling up. Unlike Final Fantasy III though, you only need to buy the spells one time. I'm gonna buy a Cure spell and a Fire spell here. Now we can't use them just yet, but they'll come in handy later on. You can also go into the armory and the weapon shop and find some things here. Whenever you're shopping and Ferris isn't in the party, they'll be coming up to, remind you that they exist. How about we get another broadsword? Because that'll give Galuf something. I think the rest are fine with their knives and daggers for now. But Galuf needs a weapon. There we go. Broadsword makes him nice and powerful. And while we're at it, how about we get some new armor? Alright, only one person equipped with a leather shield, which increases evasion. Shields? They all increase your evasion stat. Basically, it's how the game simulates you blocking an attack. I don't think in this game shields work like Final Fantasy III, where they also block certain status ailments. I think some shields do that, but not all of them. Let's get a cap for everyone, and 2 shields, and we should be good. Alright, let's equip everyone out. Everyone has now been kitted out with armor, though we can't really do much of anything with Ferris right now. Something else in town is the bar, where we can talk to a bunch of NPCs. Including this fellow right here. I'm not looking at anything. You're the perv here, not me. Get your mind out of the gutter. If we stand on this chair and examine the floor, we get a special dance. Oh man, look at that pixelated titillation. Whoa! They are all possessed by the spirit of Ric Flair. We actually do that so we can get to the piano. Pianos are the most important part of Final Fantasy V. Okay, not really, but you can play the piano. Okay, you can play the piano. But thankfully, your piano skill levels up, and you flex. You gotta do the piano dance. There are 8 pianos in the world of Final Fantasy V, and getting all of them unlocks something for you. We're only helping you because the captain ordered, so don't be getting the wrong idea. Captain, so dreamy. Take a load off and drink up. Well, I would, but as the bartender says, we gotta go to the bartender. Sorry, there's nothing left. Those pirates drank the house dry, and that woman is still spinning. She's gonna be there a while. Actually, it's 3 people in one spot. We have the Dancer Singularity. She's gonna drill through the earth. Old man, out of the way, because there's an optional cutscene here. Hold on, I'll go check on him. Look at that scandalous hair. Bartz, what have you got that goofy look on your face for? What do you mean? Must have been a trick of the light or something. For crying out loud, shove over and let me see. Great Caesar's ghost! Just gorgeous. Beauty for the ages. What in the the world are you two going on about? Our pirate captain is a very handsome man. Ah, slept like a babe I did. What are you two gawking at? Get a hold of yourselves. Now shove off. I need some time to myself. You already had some time to yourself, but guess you could use a little bit more. Other than that, though, there's not too much left to do in the town. There is someone we can talk to, though. Up here. I'm pretty sure that this is Zock's house. Someone you know? Yes, he built the Torna Canal. And if we go into Zock's house, no one's here. So Zock must be outside. Looks like Zock isn't home. Okay then, let's check back later. So now we're officially out of things to do. If we try to leave though... Hey, don't you remember this is a 4-party member game? Trying to give me the slip? I think not. Ferris, we can now use the boat. And we can sail off toward the Wind Shrine. Just right here, past the canal. Right up here by this forest. And I think with that, that's gonna do it for today's episode. In the next episode, we're going to ascend to the top of the Wind Shrine and see just what the heck happened with that wind crystal, and whether or not King Tycoon is okay. I'll see you guys later. This is Tales5Raga signing out. Thank you guys for watching. And if you liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button to help me fight against the eldritch abomination that is the YouTube algorithm. I'll see you guys later.